obvious. Climbing mountains, what are you doing? Climbing an escalation. Oh my god. Making a crazy decision, yes you are. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Oh my god, is this bitch in Peru already?
Honestly, the only thing that could, sorry, I got really intense right now. The only thing that would have made the closing scene better is if we saw Adina at the airport in Peru.
But we knew we weren't. But it would have.
But it would have been so amazing. Well, she's gonna come back hopefully as a series regular. Because her absence in these episodes is actually really difficult. I also feel like we got 2 season finales. Because last week's episode was so like there was so much emotional upheaval. Like that because the Kadena storyline and Adina in general is just so compelling, they can't put them in the same episode with other characters because the storyline eclipses the others. They couldn't possibly have a season finale that wrapped up the other characters' story arcs and still gave Kadena any screen time.
Yeah. And I mean, I feel like also that's just like a move to be like, bring us back for a second season, we can bring Nicole back, #pay Nicole.
Pay her to be in more episodes. Props to the writers for not making a big fuss about Kat's heterosexuality.
Okay, true. We should give props to the writers. I feel like it seems like we just shit talk.
No, but actually we're really grateful for the show. Like, what would I do with my life without the show? I don't know. I'll find out next Tuesday. I feel like if the Bold Type gets renewed, it'll be because of queer fangirls and like the commodification of woke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay, what do we want out of season 2?
I want like more about Kat's blackness. Like
way more.
I want her background. Yeah, even if it like, because I mean it's fair. You can have this moment of like how you're being racialized in the U.S. in your 20s. It happens to people in their 20s. So let it happen to Kat if it hasn't happened already. That's what I want.
Okay, I'm thinking it would be better storytelling if it hasn't happened for her yet and we watch her happen.
Yeah, that's fine. That's
because it's actually unbelievable to me. In season 2, they can't play it off like Kat was aware of her blackness. Like,
but the whole social media thing. How was she? They're literally Black Twitter. Like the woman is on Twitter all day. How has she not been reading Black Twitter?
Yes.
Yeah. I also wonder if the writers are being trepid because they're already writing one woman of color background that they don't understand.
Adina?
And so, yeah,
but Adina's not even a series regular.
But that plot line is taking up like so much emotional space that they're not even trying to tackle what it means to be a Black woman. And so I'm wondering if that would be giving them credit for being like, we can't write a brown and a Black woman in the same season. But also that means we're not getting a backstory for a regular, and a regular just winds up seeming like a white queer woman, which is weird. Oh man, I mean, I could write you an essay.
Yeah.
Why Kat isn't a realistic Black queer woman. 15-page essay.
Yeah.
Intro to Women and Gender Studies. Like, the cop moment. The cop moment is still the pinnacle moment for me in the season where her blackness should have been addressed.
Yeah.
Like, it's just preposterous that it wasn't. Like, it made no sense to me.
Yeah.
A Black woman in her mid-20s who's a social media advocate who is not talking about Black Lives Matter and, like, incarceration and being afraid of, like, cops. Even if that's not her lived experience, right? Like, the fact that, like, after spending a night in jail, she didn't have to talk through that trauma, weird.
Yeah. Adina is, like, portrayed so clearly as the more oppressed one.
Yeah.
Or, like, I am way more oppressed. Yeah. I come from a country that is, like, deeply homophobic. Mm-hmm. Or, I mean, even in this episode, they kept referring to, like, the Middle East or foreign country. Like, some kind of specificity would have been appreciated.
It's just weird. Like, clearly we know that you made her Iranian, probably because Nicole's Iranian, and you said not to be those Hollywood douchebags. But just like, pay an intern to go research Iran. I don't know. Like, not all Middle Eastern countries have the same types of, like, laws, right? And I mean, like, some of them are better about, like, different things in the United States. So just go pay an intern. Yeah. Do better next season.
I mean, even with Kat's remark about, like, how, I'm so much better than if I was in some foreign country.
Yeah. Like, what, I mean, like, really? Are you? I don't know. Like, Black women get treated like shit here in the U.S., so.
Yeah. Oppression Olympics over here. And, like, Kat, who's clearly, like, a U.S. citizen, has a U.S. passport, comes from a wealthy family background, supposedly.
The whole thing about, like, Adina is that, like, she has to be not American, right? So, I mean, like, even, like, one of the major, like, person of color roles is fulfilled by, like, a non-American, which is important because you have so many, like, people who are, like, do not have a U.S. citizenship in the United States. Yeah. But then there are all these other stories that you can also be telling of, like, other, like American women who are not, like, white American women.
I don't even know if Kat and Adina are my OTP.
For this show, or like...
Period. I only ship Adina with me.
Oh my god. You're not convinced by Kadena.
I'm not convinced by Kadena because they got together under suspect means. Okay?
It would
It was
not be a debrief if you didn't talk about the cheating. It wouldn't be. Can we talk about how you feel about cheating? Stop. Not in real life, like as a writing plot.
Oh my god. Hold on. We need a whole separate podcast for that. Kat and Adina, we're supposed to want them together. And we're supposed to be okay with the fact that Coco, poor Coco, she's like, you've been with this woman for 3 years, okay? And then all of a sudden, some straight girl comes out of nowhere and steals her Coco.
Didn't we say it's exactly like the L word? Like, they were talking to Eileen, and Eileen was like, you have to write this into your first season.
Oh my god, this is
a la
like Jenny, Marina, and...
The rich girlfriend.
I do think that queer women are, like, attracted to, like, being the first lesbian for a straight girl. Like, there's some kind of, like, conquest associated with that, right? And, like...
You speaking on something? You have something you want to say?
Am I making this up? I cannot be making this up. I cannot be making this up. I don't even know what to say.
I'm almost crying.
Hashtag Team Coco.
Hashtag Team Coco. Hashtag poor Coco. Hashtag using Coco's money to fly around the world with Kat. What was Coco's background? Was she also like or identified? Or like,
it was ambiguous. She seemed like she could be
I think
a
she's
woman of
another
color.
queer brown Muslim woman.
But also, of course, Adina dates women of color.
Yes, of course she does.
Yeah. Why would she be dating white women?
She wouldn't. But I mean, like, I also would believe that she's dating white women because they made her unrealistically monogamous and not poly. So
yes.
I guess.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Yes.
I don't believe that Adina is not poly.
Adina is definitely that queer artist of color who's poly.
Thank you.
What I wanted to happen when the moment when Kat and Adina kissed, I was like, oh, Adina's poly? Like, and then the next morning she's like, well, I'm not a cheater. And I'm like, of course you're not a cheater. Like, how could you be? You're not a cheater. If you were a cheater, you couldn't be my, like, fantasy girlfriend. You're poly and you don't know what to do about it, and that's why you're behaving unethically. And why you've been behaving unethically. Why you couldn't figure out how to end things with Coco or tell Coco you can't meet my needs.
I was here for a storyline in which Adina and Coco are poly, but like Coco is no longer her like a primary poly like partner for her.
Okay, yeah.
Like that would have also been a creative and well done like story, and also like you can have breakups within poly relationships. Like that's a thing, guys. That's a thing.
Even navigating those dynamics of like, oh, like you're in a poly relationship and I want to date you.
Oh
was plenty drama enough. We didn't need them to cheat. We didn't need them to cheat.
Are you kidding me? Like that's an entire season. Like there's stories that we should hear more of. So many of us don't know so much about it because of like the way we think of like relationships in a heteronormative lens.
Yeah. And what an opportunity that would have been for the Bold Type to go there, to actually go there. And I think that's why like I was so troubled halfway through the season when I was like, oh my god, there are 3 different love triangles happening at the same time with each of their 3 leads.
Yeah.
With like Kat, Adina, Coco, Alex, Sutton, Richard, and then Jane, Pinstripe, and then the other guy who she went on a date with. Looking for drama through like love triangles, looking for drama through cheating, when there are so many other ways you can find plenty drama. You can find plenty drama without like a third party entering the scenario. And that's why I don't enjoy cheating storylines in television, because I feel like it's just such an easy thing to fall in. It's so easy to do. Like, create drama. Like, then you get to have more sex. You
give the story with more, like, forbidden sex.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like...
And this is also how shipping wars start, right? Like, somewhere out there, people are shipping Sutton with Richard and shipping Alex and Alex and Sutton, and, like, they're at war with each other.
People do cis-het ships?
I actually don't know that world because I've never been there. But, like, I've never been there, so, like, I only know about lesbian shipping wars. So, we had this idea for a fic that we would write. Neither of us are fan fiction writers, but if we were, or if you are, we have a fix-it-fic idea that we think would like dramatically improve Kadina's storyline and our lives, of course. So this is how
like I would read it alone in my bed at night.
Oh my god!
That's holding my teddy.
We have so many things to talk about. But the fix-it-fic idea goes like this: Kat shows up at Adina's door, knocks. Adina comes downstairs. And she says, "Kat," like
in her fake,
in her little accent,
her little fake accent,
What are you doing here? And then is it okay?
been practicing?
No. Then Kat says, "Can I come inside?"
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then she goes into Adina's apartment. They're sitting in Adina's apartment, and they're just talking.
Yeah.
And Kat apologizes, owns up to her mistake in that
Yeah.
situation
Yeah.
of
Putting
first of
Adina
all
at risk.
not listening to Adina when Adina said, "Let's not engage.
Yeah,
Let's just
consent.
like." Adina was the victim in that moment.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
focus needed to
yeah,
be on her
yeah,
needs, and instead
yeah.
of listening when she said, "Let's not engage," you
Yeah.
like completely
You did
disobeyed
not.
her.
Yeah.
And but also you left me as a black woman
Mm-hmm.
in incredible danger.
Right, you left me as a black woman living in the United States that has no problem killing or mutilating black bodies at the hands of police. Right.
You left me totally alone. You were the only
And
person.
then you didn't check in with me, right? Because you're the only person that knew I was in jail.
And
overnight.
you had my cell phone.
Right. And highly politicized. I mean, black women have died in incarceration for generations. But the fact that there's a whole generation of black women who didn't know this and are now scared, right, to be in jail overnight, right? This is not just a black man issue. And so the fact that you left me, right, is also something really hard for me to grapple with. But I realized that I don't understand your intersectional burden. Let's have a conversation. And that is a huge part of QTPOC relationships is talking about your distinct intersectional traumas. It's I don't understand your trauma, you don't understand mine. We have to have a conversation about how we're both negotiating the state differently.
Yeah, I think they needed to have an in-depth conversation where both of them owned up to their mistakes.
Right.
And Adina acknowledges how she totally fucked up.
Yeah, and they acknowledge their privilege. Kat acknowledges her citizenship privilege, and Adina recognizes her non-black privilege.
Yeah, and also Adina recognizes that you put Kat's life in danger.
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
You put her life in danger, and so they have this discussion, and then they both apologize. And then they connect, and then they make out, and then all the shit goes down. That's what the fix is supposed to do.
But wait, then did she break up with Coco? When did that?
The next morning, there's a conversation.
And really, Adina's Polly.
Yeah, and instead of saying, "I'm not a cheater," she's like, "Yeah."
Polly might drop.
That is our,
that's
that's our fix it fic idea.
So please.
If someone wants to take us up on it, that would be amazing. I don't feel like it hasn't even been very long, just a few paragraphs. Just a few paragraphs where we imagine a scenario where they actually had the conversation.
Also, they have to get horizontal because they didn't do
that. It needs to get so horizontal.
Because this isn't free form, baby.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. #FIG.